I want $300 million. Taxes paid.
Out the door, as they say. Out the door. 300 million out the door.
Like, when I'm getting my job comes around with a bonus check. And, that bonus time, you go change your filing status.
Yeah. I never did that.
0 to 10, real quick.
So you get that money.
I want all that bonus money. I don't want to pay no taxes on it.
It's crazy how they jack the taxes up on your bonus check. You pay way more than your normal rate.
Yeah. I want my $300 million out the door. I got to be honest with you, man. That's probably $550 million.
150 is
because you think probably 40% of it's going to be taxed.
Probably at least at that level, at least 40. Yeah. I don't know, man. 150 be. The problem is, with 150, I would have a tendency to disappear. Like, I can do whatever I want. No, I got 150 for real.
Yeah, you become an old regular Howard Hughes.
I don't want to do that.
Bottles and dating them,
Yeah, that's gross, man. I don't want to be that guy.
My pee was yellow in April. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, man. I need a reason to hustle.
I think money would kind of make me recluse if I got enough money.
At some point in time, I would look around and realize that I could just disappear, and I probably would.
Very easy.
Yeah. And I don't want to get to that point, man. I need
devices.
I need to hustle. Yeah, I need to. Oh, man. I need the reason to get up and go.
$100 million in the bank.
That's.
And what keeps those guys going? Like Elon Musk and Bezos. These guys are.
Some of them, I do think. The more money, the more power.
Like what keeps you getting out of bed to go. To actually go work, like, oh man, not like I have this company, I'm running this company.
But the power, so you and I think about $100 million and we think, what could we buy with that? But somebody like Bezos or Musk, I think Musk is thinking about, he wants to change the world. He wants to leave his mark on society in a permanent, indelible way.
Indelible.
Shade
the bird strikes again.
But some people, for that, it buys them access.
Indelible. I never even heard that word before in my life.
It's not inedible. That's a whole nother word. Indelible.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I say it 5 times and it sounds stupid now. It flowed in the sentence.
It really did. Even if it wasn't a word, I'm a believer.
It means orange pillow.
It is now. Hey, y'all go look up indelible.
A word is anything that you say that other people understand what you meant.
That's it.
So when you coin a new term,
they all made up.
20 years ago, nobody would know what twerking was. But now we all know what it is. Whether you pretend you don't know or not.
Hey.
Twerking? Why, I've never been to the dark web.
Shout out Miley Cyrus.
Shout out Miley.
Did she twerk? Was she like the first person to go viral for twerking?
She brought it to the white people.
Oh, twerking.
She brought twerking to the white people.
Shout out Miley Cyrus.
Shout out Miley Cyrus. Nobody busted her for cultural appreciation,
right, for her.
Appropriation. I think pretty much everybody was collectively just said, "Damn."
Cyrus twerking. I thought she needed some of them.
Dolly Parton is her godmother.
Them acetals.
I've heard of no acetals.
Yeah, she need the acetals.
She need the acetals.
she need a prescription.
She need 2 or 3 of them
acetals. We need some acetal pills.
Dolly Parton is her godmother.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton. Shout out Dolly.
Shout out Dolly Parton.
Oh man.
Always Parton. Just enough, but not quite too much.
Yeah. Dolly Parton.
Wow. Today's been a day, has it not?
Hey, it's been a fantastic day.
It's been a momentous day. Today
momentous.
Momentous.
What did I say walking out of the coffee shop? I said it's been a day of
What did you
I had a word. I can't even remember my words.
I forgot. I've had quite a bit of coffee.
Like a groundbreaking. It wasn't groundbreaking though, but
it has been a groundbreaking day.
That wasn't a word I used though.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Oh man, my words failed.
We're going to remember it, and halfway through the podcast, one of us is going to yell it out.
If I do remember it, it's going to come back out.
Well, today we recorded our first guest episode. Shout out Lindsay Patillo-Keen. Thank you for coming on the podcast. By the time this one goes on air, that one will have already been up as a special bonus episode, maybe. I don't know if we're going to call it that, but we'll see. We'll talk it through as we go. What do you guys think? But yeah, shout out Lindsay Patillo Key. What a pleasurable conversation.
It really was.
So if you're thinking about or being considered to be a guest on Vendor Chronicles, that would be a perfect episode to listen to, because it really is not an interview. It's just a conversation. Somebody that we know and respect and would like to know a little bit more about. Thank you, Lindsay, for being here. It was a pleasure.
Yes, it was.
So
let's go.
Go ahead, Q. Take it away.
All right.
What you got?
Welcome to another episode of Vendor Chronicles. I'm Q the Messenger, sitting here with Shane the Brain Knox. This is Vendor Chronicles, where the truth is stranger than fiction.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We are so glad you could attend. Step inside. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Can't remember the name of that.
I never heard that one.
It was Carnival 9, I think is the name of that song. And it's kind of all, there's like a...
Who was the artist?
Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
I never heard of him.
It was, it was three people.
Oh, okay, group.
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. And they probably had some backup folks. I'm not like a huge fan.
What year?
Oh, I don't know. Probably before 80s, I was born, or that was 70s. Yeah. You're talking about way back in the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember who or when that was. Probably wouldn't have been aware of it then either, you know. We were allowed to listen to a little bit of Motown because my dad grew up near there, and in Vietnam, Motown was kind of the soundtrack, you know. That's what everybody listened to over there. So yeah, I knew the Temptations and the Four Tops, and I've seen the Temptations. Well, this was probably 25 years ago that I saw him, but it was only one dude, Dennis, whatever his name is, from the original lineup. But you know, they put on a good show.
You seen him perform?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw him down in Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
They put on a good show. I was drinking Labatt's Blue. I don't know why.
How
I remember.
old were you?
Late 20s, probably. Yeah.
It's a good show?
It was a good show. Yeah, it was a good show.
Okay.
Fun was had by all.
You was drinking Labatt's Blue?
Labatt's Blue. I don't remember.
That's
I don't
a
remember
beer?
why. Yeah. One time I ever drank it. I don't know why I was drinking it there.
I never even heard of Labatt's. Are they still around?
I think so. I think it's French. I don't know. It was good beer though. Whatever. Maybe it was Canadian.
Probably speaking French.
By the time I was done, I was. Yeah,
same difference. Canadians speak French, don't they? Oui.
Wow, man, it's been a busy week for us.
Oh yeah.
How's your week been?
Oh, I had a great week.
Yeah.
We did Tinkerfest Saturday. That was an all day event.
Telling me about that.
Yeah, that was an all day event here at the Kids Museum here in town. Here in Huntsville.
What's it called? Early Works.
Shout out
Early Works.
Shout out Early Works
Shout
Museum.
out Early Works.
Huntsville.
Yeah.
Yep, downtown.
That was an all day event, right?
It was all day. Got there about 7:15. I think we packed it up at 4.
Okay.
4 or 5 o'clock. So
okay.
That was all day. Then yesterday we had a double hitter, Mid City, and then after Mid City we had Jazz in the Park.
How was Jazz in the Park?
Oh man, Jazz in the Park was a blowout.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stayed busy the whole time.
Nice.
So we did very well.
You were popping there, right?
Yeah, I was popping. So this has been a very good, just the weekend, and then Friday we were supposed to have an event, and I told my wife, let's just enjoy each other, and from what I heard, it was a real good event, from other vendors that was out there. We actually paid the money and everything to be there, but
yeah,
I ended up telling my wife.
Sometimes you got to make those decisions for your own family health.
Yeah, family health. Yeah, exactly. And I told her, I said, you know what, let's just enjoy each other this Friday. We didn't even really do nothing but drove around. Right. We came and seen you downtown, but we were supposed to be working that day.
Okay.
But I was like, well, let's just enjoy this Friday night.
Well, so not only did you get to enjoy each other, but we got to enjoy your company as well.
Correct.
Yeah, we had a good time that night. Matter of fact, I got pictures of Madeline and Enzo sitting on the steps of the courthouse there. It's pretty cute.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
So you had a good week as well?
We did have a good week. We had a triple header this weekend. Friday,
3
Saturday.
in one day? Just the weekend?
3 in the weekend, yeah.
3 in the weekend, okay.
Yeah, but 2 days were double headers, like you said. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we were at the NECA Craft Show.
Yep.
Northeast Alabama Craftsmen's Association. NECA is what it stands for. It's at the VBC in the South Hall. So we did that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Friday night, we were at the Art Walk, as you mentioned. And then Sunday, we were also at Mid-City. So I set up at Mid-City and had our booth there, and Jessica went to the VBC
That was
at
Sunday.
our booth at NECA on Sunday.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And then I packed up Sunday.
I wonder why
VBC.
Jessica wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got out of there pretty quick. I packed up at Mid-City and then went straight to the VBC and loaded up everything there. And then we all came home together.
At the VBC?
At 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got there at 15 till, so it was perfect.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. And we loaded up and we were one of the first people in and out. Done.
Boom, boom.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. We're pretty quick at it.
Yeah. You do it for a while, you get pretty efficient.
Do it enough times, you get pretty efficient. Yeah.
You get efficient. You know, we don't even got to tell each other what to do. You just automatically know.
Nope. And I'm pretty good at doing it by myself most time.
Because
most time that's the way it is, you know. But yeah, there's not been a whole lot of sleep this weekend. I finally got about 7 hours last night. That was pretty nice. But yeah, I got a little bit of sleep Friday night, Thursday night, something there. Okay. Something there. I got a little bit of sleep there.
Some people say, I sleep when I die.
I sleep when I die. Listen, I'm not going to let sleep get in the way of getting me something done.
I sleep when I die.
They say it's important to your mental health. I don't know.
Sleep? Oh, man, yeah, sleep's very important.
Yeah.
To health, period, not just mental.
Yeah. And as you get older, I think it's more important.
You ever seen those people that's been like, that's methed out, like, man, I've been up 3 days.
Yeah.
I've been up 4 days.
Yeah.
And you just see the toll it takes on.
It's not all the meth. It's, also being up for 4 days.
It's not just, it's the being up for 4 days. You know, like, people pretty loopy, you know.
Wow.
Meet them meth heads, as it is.
So I'm tired now.
You tired?
I'm tired now, yeah.
Oh, you're not tired.
I'll be all right, though.
You're strong like bull.
Got to keep going.
Strong like bull.
Strong like bull. You're strong like bull.
Strong bull. Shane the Brave, strong like bull. It's all in your head, Shane.
It's all in your head. That's true.
It's all in your head.
That's true.
You know.
But I think it's all in our heads.
I used to work with a guy. That was his catchphrase to everyone that had an issue.
It's all in your head.
It's all in your head. Shout out Alex Vivarell.
Shout out Alex Vivarell?
Vivarell. We called him Alex V. Alejandro Vivarell.
Alejandro.
Man, shout out Alex. He was a Marine Corps sniper. He was crazy as hell.
Those guys are nuts.
He was nuts.
Wow.
He coming off and throwing a fit. Chingao Q. Chingao. You know, that was his phrase. Chingao Q. I think it means like F. I think it's the F. I think it means the F word.
Okay.
But it's a slang word. It's not like in there. You won't find it in the Spanish dictionary.
It's not really in the dictionary.
You have to be in the know to know. You know, chingao, chingao. That was his word. Yeah. So I catch myself using it every now and then. Chingao. And Leilani, she knows what it means. She look like that. You know, instead of saying like the F word or the,
that's very funny.
I'll be like, chingao. You know, that was his word, man. He was a crazy guy, man. I enjoyed working with him, though. Alex
the crazy
Vivarell.
People are the most fun.
Alejandro Vivarell.
Yep. I guess when your job has been to take shots and maybe have shots taken at you,
Yep.
changes the way you think about things.
It really does.
Yep.
Chingao.
Well. Here we are again. You know, I talked to a listener this week.
Mm-hmm.
He said he enjoyed listening to us work through the parts about the podcast that we didn't understand, like coming through with an introduction and figuring out how to do things different.
Right.
He said, listening to the process was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I think it is cool.
I do.
Fun, you know, like how people got their start, you know, the origins of it. How did we get to where we're at now?
Everything in life that we've ever seen or done has affected how we got here, I think.
Most definitely.
And I think a lot of times even the smallest choices would have changed. Who knows?
You know, philosophical.
Who knows? Well, if you think from your earliest experiences, what happened?
Philosopher in early time.
I don't know.
What's his name?
Socrates.
Soccer. You going all Socrates, don't you?
All Socrates.
You get all Socrates.
It's been kind of a philosophical day, you know? I don't know. It's been one of those.
Was Plato
He was. Don't ask me the difference, you know? They had different philosophies,
Plato,
I think.
Yeah, different philosophy.
I think Socrates was a student of Plato originally, but I'm not sure.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not sure. I like modern day philosophers.
Right.
Neil Peart was a modern day philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
He was the drummer and songwriter for Rush.
Okay.
Robert Frost, you know, I love Robert Frost. We were talking about poetry earlier on. Yeah.
Fire and Ice. You just quoted that.
Fire and Ice. That's
Fire
probably
and
probably my very favorite poem. And that gets so deep, you know, it's like the
it
existential questions.
Yeah.
You want to hear it again?
It's a mind builder.
Some say the world will end in fire, and some say ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Robert Frost, Fire and Ice. That gets deep and existential, does it not?
Existential.
Not the origins of life, but the end of life. These guys are laughing their head off at me.
I look at Kevin, the boss man, over there.
He's looking at Q going, get him to change the subject. What is he going on and on about now?
Change the brain.
Oh, it gets wild here in that 86 Kid studio. That's what I'm telling you. It gets wild.
Oh, man. That's good.
So our kids got to play together today. Last we saw them, they were in a playpen together.
Correct.
Pretending to share, but not really.
Yeah.
Enzo was...
I think they do good
Enzo,
together. He does real well with Madeline.
I think she does pretty good with him. We'll see how it shakes out over the years, but for right now, I think they're fine. Neither one of them's really just hauled off and smacked the other one, although Madeline was kind of wearing Enzo's head out the other night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a little pitter-patter, but
his head
she was kind of giving him a little something. He wasn't acting like he noticed. It was pretty funny to watch.
He didn't even budge. He's like, oh, man.
Watching two little toddlers interact with each other, there's not much better than that. It's like watching a pile of kittens roll around, it's great.
Wearing his head out. I don't even think he flinched once.
They got no filters. No, he didn't even act like he knew.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, that's all you got, Yeah, they're amazing, man.
It's fun to watch them.
They are. It is. It's very fun to watch.
Yeah, I think I could probably do that full time. Be a male daycare provider. That'd sound really weird, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Old Shane, he's a grandpa.
I don't think I could do it full time. Not full time.
It's a cool picture up on our producer's computer over there. That's a good shot, man. I like that.
What is it?
It's a picture of him, but sort of half an avatar. I don't know. You can tell it's Mr. Producer Man, Mr. Kevin Boss Man Richardson.
The big boss man.
I dig it.
Big boss.
Looking stylish as always, too, with kind of a cool hat,
He is fresh.
Yep.
He stay fly.
So what you doing next? You got anything big coming up?
I got a couple schools this week.
Okay.
I'll be in 2 schools this week. I got Monrovia Middle, I think 2 or 3 times this week. And then I got Sparkman Middle this week. Yeah, those. Okay. So I'll be heavy in the schools this upcoming week.
'Tis the season.
It is the season. And schools are always a good draw for us. It's amazing how much money these kids carry with them now.
Yeah.
You go to a school, you do a couple hours, and you like, man, I made $1,200.
How many of them have debit
cards? Little kids got money. I would say maybe 15% of them pay with card.
Real small.
Yeah, real small. Probably less than that, maybe 10. They got Cash App cards. Like those the money cards. It ain't like if they withdraw, it's gonna give them it's gonna tell them how much money on that card.
And if they lose it, you're only out what was on that card. If somebody gets it, they can't get your bank account. Yeah,
correct.
That makes sense.
Or you can just open up the app and transfer it back into your bank account.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
Or something like that. If the parents controlling it.
Right.
So, but so I be in the schools and what about you?
This week's going to be time working in the shop. Next weekend is going to be the big weekend for me. I'll be in Gay, Georgia, which is 50 or 60 miles south of Atlanta, I guess. I'm not real good with geography.
Oh, so you're talking about a 5-hour drive?
About a 4-hour drive, yeah. The way you go.
You're doing it in 4.
Yeah, it's about a 4-hour drive to get there. I did a spring show there, and it worked out pretty good, and we signed up for the fall show. But
you must be doing about 90.
No, not in my little van.
It'd take me easily 3.5 just to get to Atlanta from here.
Yeah, but you cut across.
3.5, 4,
Yeah, you don't have to go all the way to Atlanta.
Okay.
You cut the corner there.
Okay, you cut Atlanta. But if you was going straight to Atlanta.
And you can get to Stone Mountain in 4 hours flat, doing 70 or so, pretty close to the speed limit. That's on the other side of Atlanta. You can get to downtown Atlanta in probably, I could get to the I-75 interchange in probably 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Do you take the Mountain Pass or Birmingham?
Nah, just go through Birmingham.
20
Put it on the interstate, yeah.
65 to 20.
Yeah, 65 to 20 and then just 20, take 20 right on over. Yeah. I don't mess around with going through Anniston and Oxford up 231, none of that kind of stuff. I just go straight on the interstate, set the cruise control. Yeah, back when I was riding my motorcycle all the time, I'd take the mountain route.
Okay.
You know?
That's probably a fun route on the bike.
But sometimes I'd turn around and ride the same curves I just rode again, so it'd take me longer.
Man,
you know?
I like that. Gotta do it again.
Fun to get up there and just bend them out, Yeah. Yeah, those are some fun roads up there. You don't want to mess up, though.
We went to Atlanta last weekend, weekend before last.
Oh, yeah?
For my wife.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
20
for
years
that anniversary,
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
we usually take the mountain pass because my dad, he lives in, like, let's say North Atlanta.
Okay.
He lives out in Paulding County.
Oh, yeah.
That area, so it pretty much spits you out right there going because you get on 75 taking that mountain route.
Right.
As opposed to going 65 to 20.
Well, and depend on where in Huntsville you live. If you live on the east side of Huntsville, it's definitely quicker just to go up 72 and, cut across Mentone over there. But in Madison, where we are, we're right there by 65.
So it's easier.
So it's easier just to get on the,
Yeah, I don't blame you. But we did take 20 on the way back.
Okay, all right.
We took that 20 route. And we stopped.
You went right by Barber Motorsports Park. Did you pay attention to that?
I stopped at the Buc-ee's right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. I was like, we're gonna cause we was getting low. Fuel light came on.
Right.
We still had like,
and they got that beef jerky.
We still had like 50 miles to go. 50 miles to go to get the Buc-ee's. And I was like, should I push it? Because you starting to see the Buc-ee signs, I'm like, I got the gas light on.
Right.
And I actually pushed it,
Did you?
I pushed it to
made
Buc-ee's.
It on in there? Okay.
And then, but I didn't know that the Barber Motorsports was off the same exit.
That same exit. That's at Bass Pro Shop is right there.
And then when I seen the sign, I was like, oh man, Shane was just telling me about this place. But I couldn't see it from the Buc-ee's.
No, you can't see it from
I never
there.
seen it.
It's about, you got to get down, you go past where that Bass Pro Shop is, and you kind of wind around. It might be a mile, maybe, of a little 2-lane road, But then it's very impressive when you see it. I mean, it's a full, it's a racetrack.
And it was pitch black, so I wouldn't have been able to get a good view in it because we didn't get back home to about
I'm telling you, man,
11 that night.
I went there with a buddy of mine. We rode our bikes down there, and we called ourselves going through the museum, and we made it through the top floor in one day. The whole day. We were there like 6.5 hours, 5.
You only hit one floor?
We got one floor because there's crazy stuff. There's stuff there you can't see. There's a British manufacturer that would take old Kawasaki's and weld 2 4-cylinders together and have this crazy-looking V8 one-off welded Kawasaki. There was like 3 of them, and you got to read the whole story because, why wouldn't you, right? It's crazy, the little things you see.
So it's still a lot you haven't seen there.
Harley Davidson, like a little 3-wheeled ice cream delivery thing with a tiny little ice chest behind it, and you could drive it around. And I guess it was made by Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson
bling,
bicycles, actual
bling,
bicycles.
Had like a little bling, bling, bling.
Yeah, probably.
Bling,
How would you hear that over a Harley motor? Who knows?
Bling, bling. Right, you can't have a Harley running. Bling, bling, bling.
Yeah, just the crate,
So that Barber Motorsports.
Barber Motorsports
Shout
Park.
out Barber Motorsports
Shout out Barber
Park.
Motorsports Park.
Birmingham.
What a great place.
A little outside of Birmingham.
Just outside.
Just
Leeds.
outside. Yeah, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, right there where the Buc-ee's and the Bass Pro Shop is. If you're passing by that way and you got a minute and you like motorcycles or old cars or history.
More than a minute if you only took you all day to see one floor. Shoot.
It's an amazing place. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They got, go see Barber Motorsports Park.
Go check it out.
It's very inexpensive.
I still need to check it out myself.
We need to go down there together. We'll take Nirvana.
Oh, man.
That'd be fun.
That'll be a good
My son can
trip.
go down there.
Yep,
Yeah.
That'd be a real good trip.
Yeah. Get us all together. What's your oldest son's name?
Q.
Quintelis. Get him to come too. I mean, make it a whole.
Little Q, they call it little, but he ain't little no more. I'm the little one now. I don't know if that needs to change. Or should it be young Q, old Q? I don't know if it's little big no more. I don't know.
Nah, you'll always be. You always be Big Q.
You always be Big Q.
That's terrible. Oh no.
Yeah, but we stopped at the Buc-ee's. Man, Buc-ee's have the best bathrooms of any gas station. I know we talked about the jerky, but the bathrooms.
The bathrooms.
Like
are great.
I can raw butt the toilets at the Buc-ee's. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to most places, you Christmas tree the toilet, you decorate it, you put all your bells and whistles on it before you sit out. At Buc-ee's, I just straight raw butt it, man. I don't even decorate it, man. I mean, it's amazing.
That's when you know you trust them.
Yeah.
You could just raw butt the toilet.
You can raw butt the toilet at Buc-ee's. You know, like they keep a guy on staff in the bathroom.
There's always somebody there cleaning.
There's somebody in the bathroom cleaning.
And a Buc-ee's is always clean. Even the parking lot looks like they got somebody.
Lot.
When do they have time to pressure wash it?
You might see an oil stain. That's about it.
At the most, but they're going to get it up.
Man. Shout out Buc-ee's.
Shout out Buc-ee's. You're making me want some jerky now. I'm thinking if I went that way home, it'd be like
you have to stop at
12 miles out of the way to go around to the Buc-ee's over by my house.
How long it take you to get to that Buc-ee's from your house?
Oh, 10 minutes, maybe.
It take me about 20.
Yeah.
From my house.
I can go down Browns Ferry.
Okay.
Right there where you had that market at the apartment complex or whatever it is.
Right. The Providence too. That's where we were supposed to be at Friday that we didn't go
to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we supposed to be.
Yeah, that's right there around the corner from my house, obviously.
Correct.
And so, I can get on Bringin and then be on Browns Ferry, make that right there. And then next thing you know, I'm at Buc-ee's. Yep. And I've plenty of times. It's 24 hours. If you woke up in the middle of the night and you had just a Jones for some good beef jerky, you could ride right down there.
Or a brisket sandwich.
Man, have you ever had the triple meat sandwich? It's got brisket and sausage and...
Is it turkey?
Maybe turkey on it too.
I think it's turkey.
It's got three. It's like
it's turkey.
$942.58 for one of these sandwiches.
Yeah.
But when you eat it, you know where you spent the money at.
Correct.
It is a delicious sandwich, man.
We might take a Buc-ee's trip tonight.
Finna go to Buc-ee's.
Like, hey, I might go to Buc-ee's tonight. Golly.
They got a sign on the interstate coming up. The first sign says beef jerky is boy dinner. And what are those beaver nuggets are girl dinner? That don't sound right to me. Yeah, it's on I-65 coming north, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, okay. Beaver nuggets are like chicken nuggets, right? But
I thought the beaver nuggets was like, no, I'm thinking of corn. What's the little corn nut? Corn nuts.
I know what you're talking about.
Corn nuts.
Yeah, but they call them
beaver nuts.
Yeah, beaver nuts or not beaver nuts. I don't know what they call it. Yeah. At some point, you got to be careful, you know.
I know we kind of
Buc-ee's
touched on the origins a little bit, you know. I don't think you ever told us like your origin stories of Knox Handmade Toys.
That was brought up.
How did we get in that? You know, how did you get into that?
It's amazing.
I'm switching gears. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that we have gone this far. Not really. I really thought we covered all that, but I guess we didn't.
I don't think so.
Knox Handmade Toys.
If we had, I haven't remembered, and I wouldn't mind hearing it again. You know.
The year was 1978. The setting was Dayton, Ohio. No, I'm kidding. I don't know when it started. So when I was a kid, for whatever reason, my parents decided they wanted to make little wooden toys and sell them at the craft shows in the malls and what have you.
Oh, I have not heard this story.
So I was a kid. I do think we lived in Dayton, Ohio, and if that's the case, we moved from there when I was 12 years old. And I don't know if that's where they started this or not, but I remember them working on these toys in the downstairs basement of this place. So they made cars and some trains and some simple toys or what have you, and did shows in the malls or whatever. And my sisters and I would have a real limited, like they would let us, sand pieces of cars or whatever for a penny a piece or whatever, a little bit of work on a scroll saw if anybody knows what it was, but not, never let us get too involved in it. So I kind of saw it from the periphery. We'd go to those shows sometimes, but we weren't very often really there for the entire thing. And they did it a few times a year. It wasn't like a full-time hustle like what we do. But that was my first introduction to anybody that made toys. They got, because of their influence, my grandfather, when he retired, built a little shop behind his house, and he made some wooden toys of a very different variety than what they were doing. Everybody's got their interpretation, right? So I was around people that made some toys really on a hobby level at an early age. And so that's probably what sparked the original idea for me. But
that's what, I guess, planted the seed when you was a kid?
The early on seed. It never occurred to me that I wanted to do any kind of woodwork. I've never kept a wood shop up, nothing like that. But I'd been in the restaurant business, fast food management, for 30 years at this point. And I'd been burned out for the last probably at least 10 of them. Wow. And in 2019, things kind of came to a head, and I just quit my job unexpectedly. As I told my wife, I hit send on that email. She said, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did." She said, "All right."
Did you give them 2 weeks or you just quit?
Oh, no. It was a mutual decision. I hit send on an email, and the next morning, the owner of the restaurant chain was in my restaurant. I was there to open the restaurant up, and he was there. he said, long and the short of it was, he said, well, it seems like you don't really want to work here anymore. I said, it seems like you don't really want me to work here anymore. He said, why don't we just call it quits? I said, all right.
Okay.
We shook hands.
Mutual agreement.
He helped me get my personal property that I had there in the restaurant and helped me carry it out to the car. Again, we shook hands and bid each other the best. And I got nothing bad to say about Rich Van Buskirk.
Right.
It is what it is. And, the fact is I probably should have pursued something different when I took that job. I was working
Explain. Say more.
I worked at Dairy Queen as a general manager for about 3 years.
Okay.
And when I took that job, instead of doing that, I should have done something different. But I was in a weird place in my life.
Okay.
So anyways, I did that. Now it's 2019. The pandemic hasn't really hit. You've heard of it, but it's not a thing yet. And I started, my intention was I was going to get another job, but I wanted to do something completely different. I thought maybe I'd go to trade school, learn how to be an electrician or something. I wanted to work with my hands and I didn't want to be anybody's boss. That was my 2 criteria. So while I was figuring that out, for some reason, randomly, 6 months earlier than that, I'd built a real nice, sturdy, 8-foot-long workbench in my shop, in my garage. It wasn't a shop then, it was a garage. Had the cars and the motorcycles in there. So I don't know why I built the workbench. I just got a wild hair and built it. Well, on that workbench, I went down to Harbor Freight and bought about $350 worth of woodworking stuff and started making little cars. Just a scroll saw and a little sander and a drill press, a tiny little benchtop stuff. $350 really was what I spent down there. And I started making these cars. Ordered some wheels online, started it was just a fidget spinner. It was something to do with my hands, It was a $350 investment in not, taking up golf again or something, So next thing you know, I've got a bucket full of them, and my wife convinced me to try and go sell them at the flea market. We set up down there all day, lost $5 or $10, I don't know, on the whole deal, but the experience of selling something that I made and people gave me money for it was big, it was a big deal to me. Right. And so next thing you know, I said, well, what if I could figure out a way to pay the mortgage just from making toys in my garage? What if I could pay, this is in like June, and I was starting to make trains at that time. And I said, what if by the end of the year I could figure out a way to pay one mortgage payment? It'd be worth at least exploring as a side hustle, right? Yeah. So that was the agreement. By the end of the year, pay at least one mortgage payment. And I paid the next one, July.
After you just made that goal.
Yeah, the goal was to pay one by the end of the year, and we paid the next one in July, and then we paid August. And then we both kind of looked at each other crazy, and we're like, okay, so we expanded a little bit more, and then we paid September and through the rest of the year, and we just kept on. And then we said, well, what if we could pay all the household expenses by making toys in the garage? So that became the new goal, and slowly but surely we got to that point, and, now we don't make as much money as we did when we were both working full time. But we don't have the expenses that we once did. And we spend a lot of time together and with our daughter, and, it's a lot better experience. And so, and it's still growing. That's the thing. It's still growing. The prospects are unlimited. And it also gives me time to do other projects like this one.
Like this, exactly.
And who knows what else is going to be out there. Anytime you let your creative juices flow, we talked about this earlier off mic, but you let those creative juices flow, and next thing you know, creativity breeds more creativity.
Right.
So for me, I guess the nut of the whole origin story was that I was fed up with the business I was in. Had been fed up for a long time. And, I didn't intend to make toys for a living, but when I found an opportunity, go with it. And here we are.
How many years? 5 years?
I guess this is our 6th year, right?
6th season year. You started, 19?
2019, yeah. We just had Lindsay Patillo as a guest, and we were talking about the early days of the camp there at Mid-City.
Yeah, I was there first.
That was one of our first regular gigs.
Regular gigs.
Yep. Shout out the camp at Mid-City. Yes, what a fantastic place.
Shout out Mid-City. The camp.
So, yeah, we started doing that Mid-City, and then that was kind of a turning point too, because that was regular income that you could count on. You didn't do well every single Sunday.
Correct.
But as the camp started growing in attendance and more things happening there, you could count on averages. You might have one tough day, but then you might have a real good day the next time. It's like waiting tables or whatever.
And like you said, you have never got skunked.
No, never. I never made nothing.
Never made nothing.
Never made nothing. Never failed to make less than what it cost me to be there, for sure. Correct. Even in the earliest days, you know. And now, I mean, you know, not factoring in a rain day or whatever. You know, if it rains, you know, we went through some pretty tough weather over there a few times, holding onto our tents and hoping they didn't blow away and hoping
especially
we didn't blow
in the
away.
early days on that first little side right there. Used to
and when there was only 3 or 4 of you, that wind hits a little harder, you know? Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So here you are.
Here we are. And I recommend it. You know, here's the thing.
The Toy Man.
The Toy Man. Shane the Toy Man.
Shane the Toy
That's what a lot of people say. Shane the Train Man.
10 years ago, would you thought you would have been the Toy Man, the Toy Maker? Would have
never occurred to me. No, it would have never occurred to me.
Oh, me neither. I would never thought I'd be making popcorn.
Nope. You're still chasing the grind back then, weren't you?
Yep. Still chasing the grind.
I was done chasing it, but I hadn't figured out what else I wanted to do.
got up when was doing it.
Yep.
So you said you checked out 10 years prior.
Probably, yeah.
So just think, 10 years you still got up and went and did something.
To a job I hated.
You despised.
Yep.
You hated.
Yep.
Oh.
It was the only thing I knew, and I went through a period in my life of, let's say, financial insecurity when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And when I figured out a way to make not only a living, but to be able to thrive, you know, sometimes you hold on to that like a life jacket.
That security.
You know, yeah, that's your plank of wood in the waves of the ocean, and you'll hold on to that for dear life even when you hate it. You know, it's like, okay, but I know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if I do this, I'm going to have a certain measure of security.
Correct.
But then you check out mentally. You stop learning new things.
Mm-hmm.
You stop considering new possibilities. And next thing you know, you're just a spoke in a wheel.
Oh, man. I can't imagine what that would do to your mental.
That's a tough one. You know, fast food restaurant manager, if you stay in it as long as I did, you're really supposed to move up into the ranks where you're, you know, running 4 or 5 of them or 10 of them or owning some or what have you. But the skill set necessary I didn't have the skill set necessarily to fill that position.
Or maybe you did have the skill set, maybe not the
but that's part of the skill set.
Other requirements that they might want you to have. You know, like I can do the job. But
the job requires that skill set includes the things that I was unable, you know, I'm not just unwilling to, you know, work 15 hours a day at the whim of a corporate person who I don't know or care about. You know, it's that I'm unable to, couldn't possibly do it. My head won't let me wrap around it. And there's just a lot when you're in that kind of business. You know, somebody in Corpus Christi, Texas stubs their toe on a particular screw that's on the threshold of the north-facing door. Now, everybody in the company's got to replace that particular screw.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's an emergency. And so if I'm not working, it's just a mess. You know, it really is a mess. The level of, they feel like they own you. They really feel like they own you. And no matter what you think about it, you know, that's your health care, that's your 401k. In my case, it wasn't my 401k, but it really is your whole world. You know,
I look at a 9 to 5 as, you know, that's you basically a paid slave.
You basically a paid slave.
It's paid slavery.
But this was even worse because it wasn't even 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was minimum 48 hours a week.
Yeah, you salary guy. It's not just a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother thing.
And that's a joke if you're running a McDonald's restaurant 48 hours a week. Let me just tell you, that's a joke.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It might happen every now and then.
You never worked a 48-hour week.
No, I don't think ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be as simple as everything's going good, and then some corporate inspector comes through your drive-through and says it took them an extra 15 seconds, and now your dinner with your family is interrupted because they want to know why your drive-through is driving slow. And it's like, hey.
And, you know, those boundaries aren't there. Like, man, don't call me at a certain hour.
Oh, there are no boundaries. They own you. They're probably paying your cell phone bill, which is another piece of leverage. Don't ever let your employer pay your cell phone bill. If your employer is going to insist on having you a cell phone, make them buy you a whole separate cell phone and keep your private cell phone. Don't ever let your employer pay your cell phone bill. That's another way that they own you.
Wow.
And McDonald's wanted to pay your cell phone bill partially because they wanted you to download their apps. And one of the parts of the disclaimer, which I did read, was if you got fired or terminated from McDonald's for whatever reason, they could wipe your phone to original factory conditions. They could go in through their app and...
Oh, you saying you own the phone, but they pay the bill.
They pay the bill. Yeah, they give you a monthly stipend, ever how much the bill is or whatever.
Right. Okay,
so
I'm following you because I'm like,
yeah, they're paying your bill,
they
but
just
it's your
take the phone back from you. Yeah,
but it's your personal phone, and they want to pay for it. So you got pictures of your family on there, wiped it back to original. Back to factory. You have to give them permission, now, okay, well, we pay your bill. We expect you to answer the phone 24/7. Yeah.
I got to have healthy boundaries.
Yeah, there are no healthy boundaries in that business. None at all.
Yeah, I got to have healthy boundaries.
Yeah. Which is the reason I got sick of it, and now I make toys.
That's the corporate world.
Yep.
And I couldn't imagine. It makes me sick to my stomach thinking about I'm not saying I would never, if I gotta do what I gotta do, a man gotta do what a man gotta do, and I'm not knocking no one. You gotta feed your family. But just thinking about it makes me sick to my stomach.
Having come out of it, it's like waking up from the Matrix.
It gives me anxiety just thinking like, oh man, I need a damn Xanax, a Percocet or something. Just fathoming.
Well, and then when you think about how many people are on something, how many people are on antidepressants across the nation?
Oh man,
every school shooter.
I bet if we Googled it, we'll be amazed.
Every school shooter.
Yeah.
Every school shooter was on antidepressants. That may or may not be true.
If we looked it
but
up,
I'm saying it confidently. It's a huge
amazed.
Percentage of known school shooters that are on antidepressants. Like, okay, causation doesn't necessarily equal correlation. Correlation doesn't equal causation.
Yeah, correlation.
But
yeah.
Still, it's a hell of a coincidence, isn't it?
It really is. We got numbers.
13.2%
of the
population is on antidepressants.
Wow.
That's 2015 to 2018 numbers. 13% of the population of the United States is on antidepressants. Isn't that crazy?
That's what, 1 in every 10?
More than
one
that?
1 in every 13? What's the math on that?
1 in every 9 probably. 1 in every 8 maybe.
Wow.
I'd have to do the math, but yeah, it's definitely more than 1 in every 10.
He told me
Your
something.
camera's over there doing something, man.
I don't know what it's doing. I think it's telling me it's shutting off or something.
We must have bored the camera.
I guess so.
The camera's so bored, it's like I'm not even going to record this anymore.
You think all those people on those antidepressants, it's a reason why.
And it just makes me wonder about it, I know people that I've spoken to and they say, well, I'd love to get off the antidepressants, but I just can't. I don't know.
Maybe because you're not really living your purpose. Maybe you're not fulfilling what you actually supposed to be doing. You go into a job every day that you hate.
I think there's a lot of that. Or maybe you're living a life that you hate.
I think most companies now, they learned that they try to target like family people with families, women with kids, man with wives and kids, because they know that you'll make a sacrifice. If you got a man with a wife and a kid is more apt to get up and do something that he don't want to do every day.
For sure. As
opposed to just a single male who's like, man, I can live in my car, worst case scenario,
How many Americans, what's the number, do you think?
Of what?
They're on antidepressants. I have the number, by the way.
We said 13%.
13%.
And America's
what number?
How many people in America? 7 million, 8 million?
No, it's a lot more than that. 7 or 8 million?
700? What's the number? How many people? Yeah, more than 8 million. I think it's like 700 million. Not quite a billion. I don't know if we hit a billion.
I was thinking it was half a billion. Either way, 50 million Americans on antidepressants.
50 million. 326.
326.
50
million of those
out of 326
are on antidepressants. That's a big number.
Wow.
That's a huge, huge number on a mind-altering drug.
And then I'm wondering if you look at that number, you be like, how many of them got full-time jobs?
Oh, yeah.
Out of that 50 million, I bet it's a large percentage. 50%, over 50% of those people on those drugs got.
If they can afford the drugs, they probably got a health care plan.
So 100%. So imagine the people that can't afford that just suffer.
Those are the meth heads.
Those are the self-medicated meth heads. Yeah.
I don't know.
Man.
It's a wild thing when you think about, Nancy Reagan said, just say no to drugs. But the pharmaceutical companies, they were.
No. I wonder how much money she got from the pharmaceuticals.
Man, we'll give you $100 million just to shut up.
Right.
But here's the thing. We say something is a drug and something is not.
Correct.
Well, that's not really when we say no to drugs, we're not talking about the ones that the doctor prescribes you.
Right.
You know, we've talked a little bit about the opioid crisis, and that's kind of the same thing. A doctor prescribed it, so it must be okay. And I think
it's okay.
A lot of people really got addicted that didn't understand it because the doctor said it was okay to take it, just like the dentist, you know, that we talked about. So, you know, I think that we got to realize that, you know, kind of everything is a drug, really. You know,
sugar,
for sure.
Sugar, I think it can be classified as a drug. That's probably that's a drug that everyone's on.
Everybody's on.
Everybody on the sugar, you know.
Yep.
I got the sugar.
I got the sugar. That's how old people say about diabetes. I got the sugar. What happened to your feet? I got that sugar.
I got that sugar. Yeah.
Or high blood. Not high blood pressure. I got high blood. I got high blood. Like their blood's in there taking some pills.
My blood high.
Having a good time.
But yeah, it's sad.
I'm gonna tell that to an officer sometime.
It's so sad, man.
My blood's high, but I'm not.
You should next time you get pulled over, ask the officer, are you going to the officer's ball?
Oh yeah.
Ask him, is he gonna take?
No, I'll probably get arrested, man. What are you talking about? See, this is the reason why cops pull you over for some shit, man. Come to find out you were talking smack.
And then, the catchphrase you're looking for, officer don't have balls. Hey, you going to the officer's ball? Officers don't have
I think
balls.
That tent story is coming full story now.
Hey, man, look, man, they road pirates, man. They finna fuck with me. That's what me. I'm finna mess with them back.
You know what? It does bother me when you see them hiding.
Yeah, they road pirates.
Just get out there and, you know.
It's a road pirate, man.
And you never see a cop changing a tire. To serve and protect, it says on the side of the thing, but you don't see them serving. What are they serving?
No, I
serving that retirement fund.
They don't prevent crime. 100% of crime still happen, regardless of cops or not. You know,
they're there to clean up the mess afterwards.
They're there to clean up the mess afterwards. You know, I don't want a cop back.
I don't know. I was going to say,
hopefully, we guys, if you're a cop out there, hey, I support the thin blue line.
I support you if you're good.
Yeah, if you're good. I mean,
right. Who knows what that percentage is? But it's not zero. There are good cops out there.
It is.
And for you good cops out there, this is for you.
This is for you.
And for you bad cops out there, I got a pinky finger sticking up. I'm giving you the pinky finger instead of the middle finger because it's a feather because you ain't even worth a bird.
I give
you're
you
a bad cop.
You know, that's free speech. You can give a cop a finger.
Yeah, you can, but they can also arrest you and then detain you and mess up your night.
Then I got me a lawsuit. You know, you can't just
lose that.
Arrest me and detain me for no reason.
I felt threatened
for exercising my free speech.
I felt threatened.
A finger?
I don't know, man.
A big middle finger.
There's a country star, or a country artist named Corey Smith. Got a song called F the Popo. And the deal was he was drunk. His wife was driving. She was sober. They went to a sobriety checkpoint. And he gave the cop the finger.
Unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional. Thank you very much.
Sobriety checkpoints. You don't have to participate in it.
Illegal search and seizure.
You do not have to participate.
Yeah, but have you seen the video of that football player?
The Tyreek Hill one, the recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I caught it. I saw that one.
There's two sides to that story.
He's definitely going to win that case.
He's definitely going to win that case, for sure.
Yeah.
But he was acting like a punk.
He didn't do nothing to justify what they did.
He did not do to justify what they did. And either way.
Then they say he was speeding, but how was you clocking him?
He was speeding. You didn't see him come flying by?
What meter device? They can't say they paced him. They can't say they clocked him. They just say he looked like he was going fast. I don't know about that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was a construction zone.
I guarantee he was rolling. I'm driving a car like that. I'm speeding. But
I'm sure he was speeding.
You got to prove I was speeding.
But here's the thing. There's two ways to handle a cop when he pulls you over. And
I shouldn't have to handle the cop. The cop should have he should be able to de-escalate.
And I should be a millionaire too, but because something should be true doesn't mean it is. And in the end, unless you're, what's the guy's name? Tyreek
Hill.
So unless you're Tyreek Hill and you have the power of the media and you're a superstar, if it's just regular Joe, okay, well, what should happen and what's going to happen are two different things.
I think it's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill? I'm not a football player. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure that's his name,
For sure he didn't have any reason to have been handcuffed and thrown on the ground. I saw that.
No, not at all.
No reason for that.
I think the cop definitely escalated. He's escalated the situation.
And I do think it's fair to hold the cops to a higher standard than a normal citizen.
And that's where I was going with it. It shouldn't be my job to
a young 20-something, obviously millionaire.
With millions in the bank.
You know, you may not recognize him as a football player, but unless he stole it, you know, he's got money to drive that car. And so, you know, there's a
Velcro.
way. I'm playing with...
Yeah, your Velcro. Your Velcro.
Kevin says, stop.
You fidgeting.
You fidgeting. I've had a bunch of coffee tonight.
Yeah, you hyped up on them espressos.
Yeah, either way, I fall on the side of Tyreek Hill.
He's going to win that case.
He should win that
lose
case.
His job.
Yeah, he should win that case.
If he won it, he'd probably go out. He can hire some high-powered guys. You know, he could probably sue him. You know, he could probably get a couple million out the city if he wanted to.
You know, they didn't bust him up. But they did
escalate, though.
They did escalate.
No, they didn't whoop him. You know what I'm saying? Good.
No, the
good thing they didn't.
Definitely escalated. 100%.
Yeah, they did escalate the situation.
I fall on the side of Tyreek Hill in this one also, but I will say, if he would have rolled his window down and put a smile on his face, put his cell phone down, and addressed the officer in a respectful way, or at least in a way that the officer found respectful, then we would have never seen this video. There would have been nothing. He would have gotten a ticket at most. The guy is a star football player. He can afford to pay it. Move on. Everything doesn't have to be escalated.
And I think they were outside the stadium too. So the officer had to know he was a star football player driving a $2 million car.
He had to know he was somebody
on his way to the stadium. No, they was like right outside the stadium. It happened. I want to say.
I think. I don't know. I don't know how that worked. Like I said, I
think the cop,
I do side with Tyreek.
The cop was trying to get him some brownie. I feel to bust me up Miami Dolphin. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the talk of the force, you know, come next week. He is the talk of the force, but not the way he brought it. I think they fired him like that same day or that next day.
I heard they put him on leave, but I don't know if they fired him.
Or leave with no pay. I know he's not getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, they moved quick.
But like I said, you know,
whole situation.
I tried to teach my kids when they were younger, whatever situation you're in, what do you want it to look like at the end? Mm-hmm. You know, do you want to be on the news where you mess with the cops by not, responding or whatever? Or do you want to just move on about your day and keep on going? If you want to move on about your day, then sometimes you got to play the game.
You do got to play the game.
Sometimes
you got to read.
It doesn't hurt to play the game.
You got to read the situation. Like if I'm on a back road somewhere, just me and the cop, I probably wouldn't be as turned up. But if I'm in daylight and it's public and a lot of eyes are on it, I might turn my volume up a little bit more because the cop's going to be probably more apt not to act, as much as he want to.
Sure.
And we on the side of the road, a state trooper, and it's the middle of the night, it's me and him. First I'm asking, your body cam recording? That's be a question I'm asked. Make sure your body cam's on because I'm definitely going live with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I might unholster my gun just in case, if it goes that far. Like, I would definitely rather shoot him before he shoots me if he drew his pistol on me.
That's taking it to a level.
If he drew his gun on me, would you be willing to draw your gun back and
First of all, never draw on a drawn gun.
Huh?
Never draw on a drawn gun.
Would you be willing to draw your gun? If he draws down on
against a cop?
Against the cop.
You're never going to win that. No matter what you're going down.
I'm saying I'm coming out alive though. If winning or not, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose my life.
But you're going to go to prison forever.
Say if I'm live and he was the provoker. He provoked me. He was the aggressor in this situation.
Right. And it happens.
Oh. I mean,
But if you shoot a cop, you're going to prison, period. You ain't getting around that. There's no way you're getting around that.
Hey, I'm recording. Everything here, it's not like it's my word against his now. I
think the burden of proof there is going to be extraordinarily high.
I
don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Would you be willing to lose your life, bet your life on it,
Am I going to bet my life that this cop's really going to shoot me?
Ooh.
Especially if you're live too.
You said just that badge give him the right to just draw his gun on you.
Oh, no, the law thinks it does. I don't agree with that. But at this point in time, I don't give a damn what the law says. My interest is, how am I going to come out of this?
Hopefully alive.
Self-preservation and hopefully alive. And what's the chances of a cop starting some shit? Even if he roughs you up, you're still going to be alive. The chances of him actually drawing down and shooting you, I think, are pretty low, unless you already unholstered your weapon, in which case I think they're much higher.
Well, he's not going to know. I'm in my car. I'm not getting out the car for one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If anything, I got the weapon like kind of right here. You don't got to answer questions. Hey, you got a weapon in the car? That's none of your business. I don't answer questions.
In some states, you have a responsibility to let them know as soon as they approach you. You have to tell them you got a weapon.
Okay, state of Alabama.
No, that's not.
I got the right to carry.
But if he
my
asks,
gun.
you do have to tell him. If you
no,
say
you
no,
don't. You got the right to remain silent, Shane. No,
you got the right to remain silent.
I got the right to remain silent.
You can't lie to him, but you got the right to remain silent.
They can lie to you. Why I can't lie to him?
So here's the thing:
cops have the right to lie.
Of course they do. But again, we talking about real world versus, you know, it. You know what this sounds like? It sounds like an episode of Dave Chappelle, when Keeping It Real goes wrong.
Keeping It Real goes wrong.
I keeps it real. Don't nobody play on my phone. Next thing you know, she's in prison getting beat up by Big Bertha or whatever it is. And
Big
I think
Bertha, the orange is the new black. You know, whatever that like a prison show about women or something.
It was, yeah. I watched a couple of them.
I never seen it. I wanted to check it out. You know, I
Yeah.
never seen it. The orange is the new black.
Girl drama that you would think goes on in prison.
In a prison.
Yeah,
I can't imagine a female prison.
It wouldn't, you know. But I think there comes a point in time when you got to say just because you can doesn't mean you should. And all right, here's what I'll say.
I know you.
I handle snakes. I've always liked snakes. I have pet snakes.
Snake handler.
I'm a snake handler, not for church, but yeah, I've been to a snake handling church. Yeah, that's some wild stuff. But I don't handle venomous snakes unless I have to, and then only with a stick. Like I'll bare handle a king snake or a corn snake or whatever, even in the wild. If it bites me, it bites me.
Just
right?
a bite. Yeah, it's not
bites just a bite. It might hurt.
And
they might latch on and whatever it is, but you're not going to be permanently injured from that. But if I come across a rattlesnake, I either give it a wide berth or when I handle it, I do it really gently and with a stick only. I don't give it an opportunity to give me a bite. And I think when it comes to dealing with the police, it's like dealing with a snake. You don't know if this snake is pissed off or not. I'm not going to give you a chance to bite me. And so if I got to play the game and pretend like I think that you're, you know, cool, even though you're being an asshole to me.
Oh, he's about to write you a ticket.
He might write me a ticket, but I can afford the ticket. And I want to leave this situation as intact as possible.
I respect that.
I don't want to be in handcuffs. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to give myself an opportunity to be in a situation. And so if I've got to take a little shit from a cop, you know, somebody.
I mean, that's why it's counsel. I mean, I respect that.
Somebody walks up to you and they got a gun in your face. You do what they say, you know. And every cop that you interact with has a gun in your face, and not only that one, but there's 100 more behind it, and that's hard to swallow.
What makes it right for them, though?
It ain't about right and wrong. It's about survival.
Survival. Oh,
yeah. We want to stand on
totally
principle.
Agree with you, shit.
And the thing is, I totally agree with you that it often is an overreach what the cops do. And the fact that a cop can legally lie to you, and yet if you lie to the cop, you can go to jail, that is messed up. 100% on your side.
Cops can legally lie to you.
But I do.
You fit the description.
I do. Yeah, you fit the description. Yeah. I smell weed.
I smell weed.
Yeah. We had a call. You know?
Okay.
All those
you need to go talk to them, whoever called.
Talk to whoever called.
You talking to the wrong person,
I
buddy.
fit the description. Okay. Well, what's the description?
What's the description?
You know, let's talk about that. Maybe you fit the description.
Right,
you know?
right.
But I think there's an old saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And if you want to play, know that you may have to pay.
Yeah.
And if you're going to mess with the cop when they pull you over,
I think I'll play the game.
When you go to jail, just laugh about it a little bit. You know, you'll get out. I mean, you're not going to be, it's not going to be a permanent thing. You'll go spend a couple days in county, and hopefully you don't, get the old shower routine. And,
don't drop the soap.
Don't drop the soap. Look, you can go a couple days without a shower. You don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I've never been incarcerated.
Okay.
But when Huntsville built their new jail, the one that took them 20 extra years and $20 extra million.
Is that the one off the Parkway?
Yeah,
right
great big humongous jail right there overlooking downtown. It's like, come on now. So anyways, they built this jail and they opened it to the public. You could go in there and take a tour.
Before they started filling it.
Before there was any inmates in there. Yeah, it was. They were serving wine and stuff,
Oh, so, at the jail.
So we went down there. First of all, I've never been inside a jail.
Security board at the jail.
Finger foods. It's hors d'oeuvres.
You go eat your cornbread. Yeah. You go eat your cheese.
Pettifours. We're serving pettifours at the local jail. The thing that struck me about it, though, was just a line of toilets in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Whatever business you had to handle,
I mean, no barricade between them, no blocking.
No, it's just
shade,
toilets in the middle of the floor, stainless steel toilets and whatever. Listen, as an old man, I value my toilet privacy time in the morning. I was going to be honest, and to know that you're going to have to perform whatever ritual you do in the middle of the floor in front of everybody, and there's probably another dude right there beside you with whatever issue you got. Imagine the night when
hopefully they follow the men code. At least we go space a toilet between us.
Man, what if everybody? All right, so the kitchen serves something that's out of date, and now everybody's got tummy troubles, as they say. That's a rough night in the county jail right there.
In the county.
We served them some tainted catfish. We got it from Libby's Catfish Cabin. And it was,
no telling what they're serving those people.
Who knows, man? Some frozen pizza they warmed up and didn't get to temp. And now everybody's got it. Wow.
Hey, you have to have an iron gut to be in jail.
Not for me, man. Not for me.
Man.
But we went and toured it, man. And I, if nothing else, that line of toilets in my head will keep me from,
going to jail.
I'll take a little bit more from that cop because I'm thinking about that line of toilets. Man,
do I want to, even if it's a night, do I want to spend a night in county?
Look, I was already planning on getting to the house and taking a hot shower or whatever it is.
You could jam me up because I was going a little fast, whatever.
And then I, got in your face or whatever. Yeah. But now.
But I do respect cops. Like I talk tough about them. But even if I see them at the markets, you come over, I give you a free bag of popcorn. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But I do
respect what they do.
It's also true that if you don't check power, then power checks us. And there has to be a time when enough is enough, and there is a line. And when you do get that, and
that's where I'm trying to go. Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line?
Where do you say, okay, this ain't right? Cop or no cop?
But sometimes, yeah. Wow, that was a. You know what? I think that's a good clarification on an earlier conversation we had. Wow.
Never heard that one before.
Never heard that noise before. Sounds like a volcano about to go. Or a train almost. Wow.
Yeah, I never heard that one. That's a new one. But yeah, so good.
Well, shout out to the good cops.
Yeah, shout out to the most definitely
the good cops.
Shout out to Huntsville PD.
Shout out Huntsville PD.
Correct for what y'all do. Hope y'all listen to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't come try to jam me up on purpose. I heard what you said.
We know where you live.
We know where you live.
There's a police officer that lives in my neighborhood.
I got 2 or 3 that's in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
They drive their cars home. That's what amazed me. Like how safe? They always talk about officer safety, but how safe you really feel to drive your car home? In a public neighborhood.
If I were a police officer,
how scary is officer safety if you driving your car home every day?
Yeah. Well, officer safety is an excuse they use to,
right.
I'd like to decline to be handcuffed due to,
officer safety,
private citizen safety.
Yeah, What about my safety?
Yeah, what about my safety is not paramount.
Your officer safety trumps.
You going to be responsible for my safety?
Correct.
Can you say, pick a name? And here's the thing. We hear about, especially during the time of Black Lives Matter, we heard a lot about
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Started by a bunch of lesbians.
Like we didn't know that already. Was there anybody that didn't know Black Lives Matter?
Let me stop.
But
did you support Black Lives Matter?
As an organization, hell no. I support the concept.
All lives matter. If you ask me, all lives matter. Why? Okay, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter.
Sure.
Asian lives matter, Mexican lives matter.
Right. And even, well, never mind. Everybody's lives matter. I was going to say even lesbian lives matter, but I know some really cool lesbian people.
It was started by some lesbians.
It was, I know.
It was started by some lesbian women. I know I say that jokingly, but that's...
Nobody cares here.
Nobody cares. Yeah, if you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm married, so it doesn't matter to me anyway.
You want to be straight, be straight. You want to be gay, be gay.
If it ain't hurting me, and it ain't hurting you... If it's hurting you, do you. Do you. And whoever you find
Black
to do
lives matter. I'm sorry. It's funny you bring that up.
But it is all lives.
I think they raise a lot of money. Where did that money go?
Man, and I've heard different things about their organization.
I think they bought mansions. And,
I think. I think some of that might have got snorted.
Follow the money. Did they ever save a black life?
Follow the money.
Or did they ever do anything for a black person? I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't reaped any benefit.
They were black, right?
From Black Lives Matter. Yeah.
They did something for themselves.
They dedefinitely. I'm gonna start an organization. Q Life Matter. And try to raise $1 million. See how many people go for it. Q Lives Matter.
Not that many Qs, man. Was there an Agent Q on Men in Black?
Was it? Was Q was the boss, I think.
I want to say there was.
You had Will Smith and Tommy Lee. Tommy
Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, and I think Q was the.
Who was Q?
Was he the boss of them? Or Q was in 007. He was the guy that built the gadgets.
Is that who it was? Okay.
Q was the gadget guy in 007.
What a great, for a long-standing series of movies.
Mm-hmm.
James Bond, that's right up there.
Oh man, I used to tell people my name was James Bond. When I was a kid. Bond. Yep. When people ask me what's your kid, I say James Bond. James Bond.
I heard
when I was a kid. No joke, because
you would do that.
James Bond they used to run those. We didn't have cable when I was a kid. You got TBS. That was about the best station. Turner Broadcasting Station.
Rabbit ears.
And they used to run that the James Bond movies. The marathons.
Mm-hmm.
On TBS. And that's what I watched as a kid, man. James Bond.
Love James Bond.
And he always got the
James.
He always got the girl.
Always got the girl. And it was just risque enough where you wanted to see it, but it never, crossed a line where your dad would make you turn it off.
Turn it off, exactly.
You never had to turn off a
Never
James
had to turn it
Bond,
off with James Bond.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He got the girl, but you didn't see him getting the girl.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
They fade to black at just the right moment.
Correct. I love James Bond.
James Bond is great.
You know what? Do you remember Jet Magazine?
Yeah.
Jet Magazines, I would always get the magazines and turn to the Beauty of the Week.
Really?
They used to do the Beauty of the Week.
Okay.
You remember the Beauty of the Week? She'll be like some good-looking woman in a swimsuit. You know what I'm saying? I was a little perv.
Right.
Yeah, I just go to the Jets. It just, I couldn't read, but I can find that picture.
You could find that picture.
I'll be, there she is.
You remember Parade magazine?
I never heard of Parade.
Parade was a magazine that they would put, it was a filler inside of your local newspaper on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have all the coupons, but you'd have this Parade magazine, and it was a national magazine that they would, have printed in these, put it in the newspaper, whatever. And so on the very back page, they would do a profile of some famous celebrity.
Okay.
And they did one of the swimsuit model from Sports Illustrated. I'll never forget her name, Paulina Poroskova.
Was this something that they would run all the time, or it was just a one?
It was
off?
The back page was always like a celebrity profile.
But it was a swimsuit.
No, this one happened to be.
Okay.
She just happened to be the celebrity profile that was on there. It might be a dude sometimes, and it wasn't meant to be like a page 6 girl or whatever. It was just just a celebrity. But this one just happened to be swimsuit model Paulina Poroskova, I guess. And I'll never forget the line in the copy.
Where was she?
Swimsuit model from Sports Illustrated.
Was she an American?
No, I'm pretty sure she was.
Ukrainian or Russian or something like with a name like that. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Producer Man's got
Parade.
Right there, I think. Paulina Poroskova or something. Like she was just like a runway model, and I don't even think she really, but she was beautiful. And I remember the line was that she was saved from perfection by one slightly chipped tooth. That turn of phrase always stuck with me. I don't know. And I was probably like 13 years old looking at a swimsuit model. One slightly chipped tooth. Know that she was perfect. Yeah. Of course, there's no such thing.
Right. And that, I mean, nowadays she could have easily got that fixed.
Oh, for sure.
Back then, I don't know, a chipped tooth probably would have been this.
But the singer-songwriter Jewel, her teeth are crooked, famously.
Jacked up.
And she's talking... I'm sorry, Jewel. I'm a big fan. Promise you. I've seen you like 3 times in concert.
Right, look like.
But she's talked. Obviously, she's got enough money to fix whatever, and she's like, this, it's me.
I think you get to a point to where you like,
once you're happy. I mean, they're clean.
Yeah, they clean. That's all that matters. They function.
Yeah.
They function.
But they're her teeth, and
these my teeth.
What was that in the Freddie Mercury movie? They said he had 2 extra teeth, and that helped him sing better. I think that might be some.
I never watched that one. The Queen guy.
It was a good movie. Yeah, what was it? Was it called Bohemian Rhapsody? I think so.
I think that's the name of it. Yeah,
it was a good movie.
I never checked it out.
I saw it in the theaters, and I never go to the theaters.
And you went and saw
that one. I went to see that one. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, they did a good job with it. But I remember when Live Aid, what was that, 85? I remember that. I remember seeing some of that on TV.
Okay.
It was tough to watch it in my ultra-conservative religious household, but, some of it. I definitely didn't see the Queen performance. That would have been turned off immediately. Look at that old...
Because of his lifestyle.
Because he was, I wasn't trying to see what happens in his bedroom.
And back then, that would have been pretty taboo too. Now we see it. It's like whatever. If you
in '85, it was starting to become more.
You want to be gay. Whatever. Live your life now.
Certainly
but
wasn't expected.
'85. 85. Oh, 85. Yeah, that was still taboo.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was still okay to gay bash, as it were. Back then.
Right. It wasn't a hate. It wasn't a hate crime exactly. Or whatever. You gay bash.
Q, man, it's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
It's about time to.
I know if I said it once, I said 1,000 times. Feels like we just started talking.
So
like we just sat down and I've been just saying stupid stuff. I like this. I like this dynamic.
I do too.
Like I said,
it goes where it goes.
Audience, I'm the comic relief in this duo.
What you trying to say? I'm not funny, man.
Change the intellect, man. I'm the comic relief.
You memorize one poem, and this is what you get. You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, Mr. Comic Relief, give us some words of wisdom.
Comic relief. All right. Okay, so. I just want to tell people it's a difference between being lazy and uninspirational, uninspired. Don't think because you're not accomplishing what you want to be accomplishing because you're lazy. It's not that. Most of the time, it's just you just uninspired. Like we talked about earlier, how that 9 to 5 is probably just draining so much energy out of you that you can't even get up on the weekends to go do something that you want to do.
How do you break that chain?
Something that you're passionate about.
So how do you break that cycle? If you find yourself in that rut where you feel like all you do is get up and go to work, come home, get ready to do it again, how do you break that cycle?
I would say, firstly, you might want to change the people you hang around. Try to start surrounding yourself around people that's vibrating on the frequency or have an energy that you want to be.
The energy that you want to be. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, like we talked about a little earlier, like it's all about energies. You know how our energies kind of bounce off of one another. Me, you, me, Kevin, you, Kevin, like we all are like-minded. Yeah, we got different things going in us, but we bring different experiences to the table, but we can sit at the same table. I would say that's probably the easiest and maybe the hardest, to even find people that you would want to be like, that mentor.
I used to know somebody who liked to use the phrase, do something even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong.
Activity is going to breed activity. And if you figure out what you're doing is not working for you.
Activity is going to what?
Breed activity.
Activity is going to breed activity.
Activity breeds activity.
Correct.
And if you find the activity that you're doing doesn't work for you, you can always change. If you start out trying to walk 5 miles every day and you realize that your knees are messed up, okay, well, maybe try a bicycle.
Try biking.
Or maybe go swimming.
Correct.
Or, whatever it is. It doesn't mean you stop exercising. It means you find another way, right?
Yeah. So I just want to, put what I said last week. y'all was ragging on me. Put a defibrillator on your mind.
Put a defibrillator on your mind.
You're not lazy. You're uninspired. And if you keep using that term lazy, you're never going to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
You become your self-talk.
I bet if you want $1 million and you had to be up at 4 a.m. to go pick it up, you'll be very inspired to go get that money.
Isn't it funny how that happens?
You know what I'm saying? So, get inspired. Maybe change the people you're hanging with.
I think that's so important.
Change the information that you're taking in. They say like your eyes are like the path to your soul.
The window to the soul.
The window to your soul. So what are you entertaining? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Music and words can infiltrate your mind without your permission.
Music is huge to me. And I'm careful about the music that I listen to.
And it can infiltrate you and affect you without you even giving it permission.
That's true.
Music is very invasive. I say music or anything you entertain.
Sure.
You hear. You get how many catchphrases or jingles or songs that we know that we never even tried to learn.
Oh yeah,
but you just know it because it's just.
and I think it's important to be careful what those jingles are attached to.
Correct. Correct.
You remember the jingle of a 70s TV show or a commercial or whatever, and again, is it what you want in your mind?
Correct.
Mr. Producer says time is up.
Time is up.
It's been a great day.
It has.
Been a monumental day. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here.
And I still haven't thought about that word that we was talking about earlier.
Nope.
I was here trying to think as we was
You're going to text it to me at 2 o'clock this morning.
Man. Yeah.
All right, everybody. I don't even know what episode this is, but I know we're deep into season 2.
Yeah.
And we're deep into downtown Huntsville, Alabama, here at that 86 Kid Studio.
That 86 Kid Studio.
Q the Messenger and Shane the Brain.
Shane the Brain.
We out. Peace.
Peace.